Good morning. It actually looks like it's going to be quite a nice day today. Today I wanted to talk to you about this book that I have recently listened to, because it's scary and it's happening and nobody knows what the future's going to look like. Nobody knows what the future's going to look like anyway, but this book is all about AI and I understand that we've been living with AI for X amount of years, but that was just the start, and the way the world is going, AI is just going to be taken over basically. It's weird because AI in a way is good and all this technology is amazing, because for example I get to speak to my brother in Australia whenever I want for free, and I can see him as clear as day, and that's like, if you went back 30-40 years that would have been impossible. If you look forward 30-40 years, this whole metaverse world, and I understand the metaverse, I understand NFTs, I understand crypto, I understand the Web3 world that's coming to a certain extent, and half of me understands the benefit and the other half of me sees the dangers, because there are so many dangers. And I have this I don't know how to explain it. It's coming and we can't stop it. So I think this book that I read has made me even more aware of everything and more aware of the scale. And I mean, you see this stuff in movies in the past, like iRobot and all of that stuff, and that is going to be our reality. I would 100% recommend listening to this book. I'll link it down below. I listened to it on YouTube for free. It's an 11-hour audiobook, and I struggled. It took me about 3-4 weeks to listen to the whole thing, because I just stopped halfway through, because it's like, oh my god, but you need to kind of listen to it to the end. And the guy that wrote the book, he used to develop AI for Google X or whatever it was, or is. So he kind of knows what he's talking about. But I found this guy about 8 months ago from a podcast, and I'll link that podcast down below as well, because that podcast is, if you can't listen to an 11-hour audiobook, then the podcast is well worth listening to in itself. But we are moving into a different world, and I think some people are aware of this, and well, lots of people are aware of it because they're building businesses around Web3. And I think the most important thing going forward into this world is to not lose what we have in this world, and that is this. It's making sure we are continuously moving ourselves into places that are real, because this world that we're moving into is not a real world, but it is going to become a reality, and it is going to become the next generation of living, and that's scary, so scary. I remember that a few years ago, that a couple in I think it was Japan or China or somewhere like that had a kid, but the kid died because it forgot to feed the kid, because they were playing online video games where they were feeding or like keeping this character alive, then that's like a real life story where somebody took priority over keeping a game alive than an actual human being. And that is like this world is just so scary. Like how something so not real like can have an impact on something that is so real. And that's what I'm struggling with. I struggle with like how like the connection between people. Like I get it, I understand how beautiful the phone is and how it connects so many different people, and half the people I speak to now I probably would have never met without this connection and without this technology and without the way the world's going. But at the same time, like I think all I'm trying to say is that I was speaking to Mandy about this yesterday. Like everything is about balance, and it's making sure that you have that balance and you're still getting out into nature, you're still moving, you're still connecting yourself with what's real, and then using the technology to benefit you rather than letting the technology use you to like not benefit you. But what's coming is like, well, you see it already. Like you go into a bloody supermarket and you're self-serving yourself with the AI that's watching you, making sure you're not nicking anything, making sure like the products are what the products are and stuff like that. And this book is like, it goes into how that technology is going to be taking away every single job. Like there's this thing called Jasper. This AI called Jasper, and it's something to do with like content writing or copywriting or something like that, where you give it a subject and it writes on that subject. And I read a comment underneath it saying, oh yeah, it's not here to take your job, it's just here to help you. That is so not true. Like that in a year's time, 2 years time will be like, there won't be a need for writers anymore because AI will be able to do everything. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is the fact that AI is going to take over every single job possible a good thing or a bad thing? Like it allows the human the freedom to then not have to work because AI will be working all the jobs that need to be done. But then are we going to trust AI to do that? Like, I don't know. This book, like I promise you, your mind will be blown after reading this book. If you do read it, let me know and let me know your thoughts on it, because I'm interested. I'm interested to know. Like, there's yeah, it's just blows my mind. Anyway, so that was my ramble today on AI. If you have any opinions on AI, leave them in the comments below. I'd like to have a discussion about it because it's scary, interesting, and it's here and it's staying and it's developing and it's evolving, and it's going to be the future that we live in. So yeah, what a random chat for the day. Max is already running back for his treat. I love that view. Right, I'll see you tomorrow.